Oh, this is right. Good evening and welcome to the Town Board of the Town of Ossining regular meeting for Tuesday, December 13th, 2022. Please rise and join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and justice.
Okay, Councilmember Feldman,
Present.
Councilmember Menicio.
Here.
Councilmember Fields Will,
Here.
and Supervisor Lavenberg. Okay, we have our supervisor and town board announcement.
Okay, so we are now in full holiday swing. So I am continuing my weekly reminders of how you can give back. This Saturday, December 17th, from 12 noon to 2 p.m., I will be joining Senator Pete Harcum to host holiday food drive at Ossining High School. Please donate if you can. The most needed items are cold cereal and oatmeal, shelf-stable or evaporated milk, and canned tuna. And I think I left off a few things. Peanut butter and jelly, pasta and pasta sauce, instant coffee and tea. So if you are able to bring any of those items by Ossining High School from 12 to 2 this Saturday, it would be very much appreciated for those in need. Donations will go to the Ossining Food Pantry. If you or someone you know would like to help with the collection on Saturday, please give our office a call at 914-762-6001. Or you can also email dlevenberg@townboxing.com. O Prime is collecting new and gently used kids' hats, gloves, and mittens, as well as coats, until December 15th, with drop-off locations at the Ossining School District offices at 400 Executive Boulevard, Mike Risco Music School, Ossining Public Library, and the Ossining Police Department. Thank you, Chief. We are also collecting donations of unwrapped toys as part of Toys for Tots at the Ossining Municipal Building, and I'm happy to say that the box is filling up very nicely. The Ossining Boat and Canoe Club is hosting its annual holiday toy drive with participating locations all over town, including Ossining Post Office, Hudson Valley Books for Humanity, Penny and Ting Toy Store, Here Coffee and Beer, the new place down at the waterfront, I guess.
The train station parking
Near
lot.
the train, in the train station parking lot, Sing Sing Kill Brewery, Mike Risco Music School, and Chatham Yacht Club, among others. For the full list, you can see that in my supervisor's update, so please check the town website or social media for that entire list. Bethany Arts Community is hosting the Hope and Heartache Diner by Lindsay Price, December 15th to 17th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are $15. Ossining Fave KJ Dinner will be playing a Home for the Holidays concert with special guests at Westchester Collaborative Theater this Saturday, December 17th at 7:30 p.m. Guessing you may even know some of the special guests, even though they have not been announced. Chabad of Briarcliff will be holding a balloon Hanukkah celebration on Sunday, December 18th at the Briarcliff Pavilion, starting at 3:30 p.m. with fun and crafts, and the community menorah lighting at 4:30 p.m. For more information, visit www.chabadbriarcliff, that's CHABAD briarcliff.com. The Ossining menorah lighting will take place on Tuesday, December 20th at 6 p.m. in Market Square. Don't miss this fun annual community event. There's usually free latkes and hot chocolate, dreidels, Hanukkah candles, all sorts of fun things. I am going to kick off my administrative report unless any of my colleagues have any additional announcements that I have neglected to mention. I'm sure there's lots of other things happening that I probably missed. All right. Okay, so my administrative report. Scenic Hudson recently brought to our attention a request to sign onto a letter requesting that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers extend the comment period on New York, New Jersey harbor and tributaries coastal storm risk management feasibility study, which is the draft integrated feasibility report and tier 1 environmental impact statement which aims to develop a plan to protect those who live and work in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area from the effects of coastal storm damage. Scenic Hudson has suggested that the current deadline set for January 2023 will not allow impacted members of the public sufficient opportunity to assess the complicated, lengthy set of documents that make up the DEIS, Draft Environmental Impact Study, and provide comments to the level of detail required for the environmental review process. We agree, and therefore will ask that the Army Corps extend the current deadline by a minimum of 90 days and add a commensurate number of public meetings during this extended period. This extension will give entities like the town board some more time to consider submitting comments, especially during this busy holiday season. If the board doesn't have any questions or concerns regarding the town signing on to this letter, we will add our name to the list.
I'm all for it.
And with that, do we know where, if we're close with our town? Okay, so the sound not quite here yet. So we're going to ask up next our departmental report from our police chief, Kevin Sylvester. Chief.
How far out is Christie? I'll make sure I make it last.
You're not 100% sure, so
We'll start telling stories if I run out of content here.
exactly.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. It's good to see everybody. Congratulations to Dana. Some big stuff on the agenda today, and also to Victoria and Martha and everybody else, and Liz, if we're have enough people to vote on that. All good stuff. So a little bit from the department. So I'll give you a little bit of a year-end kind of thing because we're almost there unofficially, but most of this will be fourth quarter type stuff. So far, year to date, we have 29,927 calls for service, right about where we usually are. 495 arrests town and village wide. Of those 45 arrests in the town, almost all of them vehicle and traffic related. So just about every, in fact, I'll have to go back to scour them, but I believe that every single arrest for the town outside was vehicle and traffic related, meaning suspended driver's licenses, suspended registrations, or DWIs. And about 10% of arrests typically is that number. So we're right about on track for where we are usually. Nothing unusual up or down. 4,600 summonses issued this year by the department, town and village wide, about 1,000 of those coming from the town, 25% about right for that number. So right about where we are. Lots and lots of staffing changes this year. We have graduated 10 people from the police academy so far in 2022. Officers Marquez, Manco Guevara, Martinez. We graduated 8 and 2 of them are transfers. So Marquez, Manco Guevara, Martinez, Hazel, Carlson, Costa, Dennis, and Ryan have all graduated the academy. Officers Peffers and Valencia came from other agencies. Peffers coming from New York City in the 5-0 precinct, and Valencia coming from Tuckahoe. We're expecting to have 3 more on for resolution sometime really soon with the village board, since they're kind of done with meetings, but civil service being what it is, it's taking time to get those folks through the process. 3 more hires for the January class. So all good stuff, seeing lots of new faces here. While we've got new people coming in, we've had some friends that have gone on. Sergeant Tolvey and Officer Bell Carey have both retired this year. So many of those in replacement. Others, the reason we have so many hires and not as many retirements is it's taken a really long time to get through the civil service process. One thing that we're finding is that candidates are not so readily available the way they used to be, I guess is what people are saying. Along with people that have gone, we have one more coming up on December 30th. We'll say goodbye to Detective Bracero, who's been with us for 20 some odd years. He's worked undercover. He's worked in patrol, a member of the SWAT team. He's been a detective for 7 or 8 years now, and he is going to be retiring at the end of the year. 24 years of service in total. He was with NYPD before he came here. In replacement for him, we'll have Bill Gallagher will be appointed a detective. So he is currently field training with the detective division right now, and he'll be appointed formally at the end of the year once that position becomes available. A couple of other promotions this year: Sergeant McGovern earlier in the year, and very recently, our middle school resource officer, Officer Irvin, promoted to sergeant last week. And to replace him, we've taken Officer Valencia. So relatively new to our community, but a person with about 10 years of policing experience. He is a dad of school-age kids. He speaks English and Spanish fluently. So he's a really great fit for the school district. And he has been working for the last couple of weeks with Ben in order to get up and running and to meet all the teachers and understand the environment there. So all really good stuff going on there. In terms of events, Detective Chavez is presenting all over the world now on behalf of the town and village for the police department. He's been sharing all of his good work with Spanish language social media for law enforcement. He presented at the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services Law Enforcement Symposium in Albany a few months back, and then shortly after that in Dallas at the International Association of Chiefs of Police Conference. So great stuff there. Still holding to the title of the only one in the universe doing it in 2 languages. Other events we've done a couple of movies in the park this quarter, or towards the beginning of the end of last quarter, beginning of this quarter, out at Cedar Lane Park, including our overnight camping trip we do out there. We managed to bring back Trunk or Treat, bigger and better than ever, and some stuff coming up on the 18th. Santa Claus is coming to town, starting out at St. Augustine's and Mystic Point area out there. So sometime before the 18th, but not too soon because we don't want to overwhelm the kids. We will put out a route so everybody knows where to find Santa, but Santa will be coming to town on Saturday, the 18th. That usually takes most of the day. So we'll say in the morning, but that's a full day escapade. He's very tired by the end of the day. Lots of hot chocolate. And then another new thing coming from Detective Chavez. He is hot and on fire this year. On December 22nd, we are going to be starting Feeding Westchester distribution here at the police department. So that's going to start at 4 p.m. on the 22nd. And the objective is for it to be at least monthly, depending on how much buy-in we have and how many volunteers we have, maybe twice a week, but we'll announce those as they come. But our first one will be December 22nd here in the parking lot of the police department, where people can get fresh produce and groceries and things absolutely free, because we understand food insecurity in our community, and we want to make sure that everybody, including all of our families with kids, have plenty of food for people, because well-fed people are happy people and good neighbors. So that's our contribution towards that. And that is my report. So let's do some questions, because I didn't see Christy walk in the door. Oh, is that her?
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Perfect timing.
Good evening, Chief.
Yeah, you're off the hook, but you can certainly open up to questions. Any questions? But I guess the question is, what time's Feeding Westchester?
4 p.m. on the 22nd. We'll make some formal announcements of that, but we'd be glad for you to share that as well. 4
Okay.
p.m. And typically it goes for about an hour and a half, and that's the standard run wherever they are. So we pretty much go until people have their groceries.
Okay. Wonderful. Questions? Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Are you seeing any decrease or uptick or same in terms of traffic infractions or anything in the intersection of 9A and 134?
So I can't necessarily say it's tied to, I'd love to say it's tied to enforcement, but I can't necessarily say that it is. That we've seen something of a decrease in accidents there. Over the summer, we had a stretch where it was a little crazy for some time. It's been quiet for a little while over there. We had one accident a few weeks back, but relatively minor. I'll tell you that the strategy for addressing that has been Lieutenant Donahue's taken over patrol a few months back, and he is really on top of people. I mean, he's out checking with the supervisors every shift to find out what's happening in every corner of the town and find out what the officers assigned there are doing. So I can tell you that he is really on top of things in terms of ensuring diligent patrol. And what you'll find is that a lot of those arrests that you're seeing in the town, those suspended license, the suspended registration, those are generally not primary offenses. So those are indication that stops are happening in addition to the tickets, because those are signed as secondary things. So I think the big picture for 9A and 134 is always going to be more enforcement slows people down. When people are afraid and they know the cop is going to be there, you get people driving better. It doesn't last forever. It's where they think the cop is going to be. And when they get to the next light, the problem runs down the road. Something that Dana and I had talked about, but we really hadn't gotten to, was the potential for either red light cameras or speed cameras in that area. And I think that's something that, if it were possible to do, would be great to discuss with the board. It does require state legislation in order to do that. It's even if it's not on a state road, you can't even put them on local roads unless there's state legislation that changes it. So, maybe with new and powerful friends, we can make that happen. I don't know.
We're gonna definitely think about that for sure. I know I already know some of my colleagues are interested.
It's a popular concept in lots of towns and villages. The sense I got from talking to other agencies, is that just the legwork can be overwhelming for people, and that's the reason you don't see more of them. Also, I imagine the state makes you jump through a fair amount of hoops so that you don't end up with cameras on every corner. It would be a tough place to drive if every corner had something. So I think they're trying to be choosy about where they put them. I would imagine that's a really good candidate for placing one.
Absolutely.
I'm just curious if you think that motorists are trying to beat the red light, and that's why all those accidents were happening.
I think people are trying to beat every light. I don't think they're more there than other places. You know, my anecdotal observation is post-COVID, people are really poor at scheduling. They're leaving their houses later, they're packing more things in. And quite frankly, how many of us just don't want to leave the house, right? So we're sort of reluctant to go where we're going, and then we speed to get there. We've seen a lot of that as we hear from people on the road.
Yeah.
You know, I think that as people sort of normalize more and people are returning to offices, that gets a little bit better. But I don't think it's unique to 9A and 134 that people are beating the light. I think that's true of everywhere.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Chief, thank you very much. We wish you a very happy holiday season, a safe
pleasure.
one, and
Thank you.
we're grateful for your whole team's service to the town. And the village. Those of us who- yeah.
Thanks for buying me some time.
All good. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, yeah. And you know, we have, oh. Chief, are you staying on? You know, we have the IMA on for later, right?
I was going to listen in. If you guys need me to comment on that, I'll be glad to, but I was going to listen from a distance if that's
That is fine. We do not need you to comment.
all good. All right. Good
Okay.
night.
Have a good night. All right, so moving on. We are going to, we have a few public hearings, 3 to be exact. And we're going to start off with the local law to amend the zoning code to establish a special permit use for artist communities. Since this public hearing was last open, we have received written comments that the board will discuss further at next week's work session. Is there anyone here to address the board tonight on this proposed local law? So please raise your virtual hand. I will ask the board to adjourn the public hearing to December 27th. Following our work session. So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Any late hand that gets raised? And I will apologize. Okay, next up, we have the local law to amend chapter 47 of the town code with respect to deputy town clerk and deputy receiver of taxes residency. The town board has adopted legislation similar to this for other positions in the town that are considered public officers. This allows the town to open up a hiring pool for these positions when they become vacant to anybody who lives in a little bit farther out than just the town. So is there anyone here to address the board on this proposed local law? If so, please raise your virtual hand to be reckoned. And if not, I see no comments. May I have a motion to close this public hearing? So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? We're going to be doing this a little bit later. Next up, we have a public hearing to contract for fire protection services to be provided to the town of Austin Fire Protection District. No, I don't think I need a motion. I'm opening up the public hearing. I'm making comments. The town has 2 intermunicipal agreements, one with the village of Austin and one with the village of Briarcliff for fire protection services for the town of Austin Fire Protection District. These contracts codify existing practices and help keep all of the town safe in the event of a fire or carbon monoxide or other fire-manic related services that are provided to us by these 2 fire departments. Town law requires that a public hearing be held for agreements covering fire protection districts. We have resolutions on our agenda later this evening to consider approving these agreements. Is there anyone who would like to address the board on these INAs? Please raise your virtual hand if so. should have like a timer for. When public, okay, nobody's raised their virtual hand. With that, I would ask to close the public hearing on that. Could I have a motion, please?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? All right. So, moving right along, I think we did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're up to liaison reports. Does anybody have any liaison reports?
Just that the Acton Boys and Canoe Club really need the toy donations, or the community needs the toy donations. They seem to be going pretty slow this year. The municipal building seems to be doing well. All the other places a little slow, so if you're out and about, Penny and Ting, you went to Sing Sing Kill for beer, you went to the Miss Mike Risco for a music lesson, you went to Value Drugs for the pharmacy. Consider bringing a new unwrapped toy for one of the children in our community that isn't as fortunate as some of the others.
When are they picking them up?
18th, at the 18th, so you have
How fast can I get on Amazon?
no, that'll come.
Better thing is to wander to Penny and Ting,
There you go.
shop around for some other gifts for other folks in your life, little folks,
Mhm.
and then buy something there. And put it right back.
We will take
Shop.
toys from anywhere,
But we-
we're not proud.
No.
But we support
But
local
like-
business.
We support local
Exactly,
business.
Exactly. Just saying rather than Amazon. I mean, not to say that, I think I was talking about that Taylor Swift blanket that is not available at any. Other than that.
Bookstore
That
has
was,
some
you know,
cute stuff too.
Yeah, the bookstore has kids stuff
Drug?
and Value Drugs is.
Value
kids
Drugs
stuff.
also has.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot
Sing
of,
Sing Kill now.
The Taylor Swift blanket you could thrift though. I've been seeing a lot of people with thrifting, and with the Taylor Swift blanket, if there's a specific one you're looking for.
good to know, good to know. All right, thank you. Inside tip. Inside tip.
His birthday, so.
Yeah, okay. All right, so, moving right along. Is there anybody here to comment on any of the agenda items, any of the board resolutions that we will be voting on this evening? If so, please raise your virtual hand. And seeing no virtual hands, I'm gonna ask Martha Kiyosaki to move us into our resolutions. Sure.
Approval of minutes, regular meeting, November 22nd, 2022. Resolved that the town board of the town of Boston hereby approves the November 22nd, 2022 minutes of the regular meeting as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Anybody opposed?
Approval of voucher detail report. Resolved that the town board of the town of Boston hereby approves the voucher detail report dated December 13, 2022 in the amount of $1,100,175.13.
Motion?
Second.
Any particularly large items?
We had our IMA bill for the month of December, and we paid down the
Fencing.
purchase order on the
The
fencing.
fencing,
I was gonna say, it was some big
okay.
project that we drew down on, so
Okay,
that added up very quickly.
all right, there you have it. Any other questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Personnel resignation. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby accepts with regret the resignation of Dana Levenberg from the position of town supervisor effective December 31st, 2022.
Have a motion?
Motion,
So moved.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, with regret. with deep
Sadly,
regret. Thank you. No.
I was
It's
going
been-
to comment, but.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, you say something, it's okay, go ahead.
It's short 7 years. It really doesn't feel like 7 years that we've been on the board together and work with you and to learn from and with you. And we're going on to bigger and better things for the community, and we look forward to working together in a different relationship.
Thank you. It has been the honor and privilege of my life, honestly, to serve the town in this capacity. I've loved every second of it. It's definitely the best job I've ever had, I have to say. And it is something that I will always treasure. We have an incredible team. Stop. We have an incredible team and everybody really steps up every single day to serve our community. And I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to be a part of the team in a leadership role. And I look forward to continuing to do very hard work on behalf of the town, the village, and all of the communities in the 95th Assembly District. My next role, so it is not goodbye, but we shall see each other again in a minute. But thank you. And yes, certainly with regret, I submit my resignation. So thank you.
All those in favor?
I think we are. Sad, I abstain, I refuse. Vote no.
Okay. Personnel appointment resolved that the town board of the town of Albany appoint Elizabeth R. Feldman, alternating to the position of town supervisor for the remainder of the second year to end December 31st, 2023, of the 2-year term left vacant by the resignation of elected town supervisor Dana Levenberg, effective January 1st, 2023.
So I'm gonna ask for a motion to table this resolution as we do not have enough folks this evening who could vote on this. I'm not able to vote on this resolution because I will not officially be on the town board as of January 1st, and I've been instructed that therefore I can't vote on it. And unfortunately, Councilman Meyer had to be, he's actually on remotely, but we didn't have enough time to notice it. So he's not able to vote on this resolution tonight. And our deputy town supervisor, Feldman, is also not able to vote since it pertains to appointing her. So it's town supervisor. But we are grateful to let you all know that we will take this up again at a special meeting, which we will notice for next Tuesday, December 20th. Yeah, December 20th. So may I have a motion? Do I have a motion to table, or I can just table it?
You do a motion.
Motion to table?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
You can lift the table. You can be involved.
Okay.
Abstaining.
I'm just saying.
Moving right. Okay, next up. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
There you go. Personnel resignation resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby accepts with regret the resignation of Victoria Caparelli from the position of administrative assistant to the supervisor and budget officer effective December 31st, 2022.
Second.
Victoria, I have known you since you started interning for Sandy Gala when you were 14 years old. I probably actually knew you before that. That is true. I knew you before that. But I knew you in a mini professional capacity, starting at your 14-year-old day or so. You were also teaching CCD at St. Anne's. And you were in the acclaimed Austin Science Research Program. You were in the first cohort of the AP Environmental Science class.
For like 2 months.
I remember. Leader in Junior States of America, a high honor student, if that's such a thing, among many other accomplishments and responsibilities. You've continued to take on a million accomplishments, responsibilities. You've worn many hats while finishing college, while getting your master's in public administration. You've worked in this office, you never missed a beat, you've continued to excel and exceed all expectations of an employee and a leader in your role as administrative assistant and budget director at the supervisor's office. And I know that it is with great regret that the town board accepts your resignation. All right. Nevertheless, I know that in your next role, you will continue to serve the town and the Lower Hudson Valley communities as you have done throughout your young life. So we thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's definitely, it's hard to leave, but it's exciting to start something new, but also something that I have been doing since I was 14 years old. Thankfully, Assemblywoman Gala found a picture of me sitting at the chief of staff desk when I was 14. And so it's exciting to be doing it for real now. So it's exciting and new exciting things, but I will definitely miss working for the town of Austin. It's been a really great experience, and yes, the best team ever. So thank you.
But meanwhile. We're just- All those in favor with great regret? Aye. Everybody opposed? I mean, sorry. Okay, yeah, great, sorry. Okay.
Personnel promotion resolved that the town board of the town of Austin appoints Martha Cecilia Kipisaka to the position of administrative assistant to supervisor effective January 1st, 2023, at an annual salary of $82,500. And be it further resolved that Ms. Kipisaka is also appointed to the position of budget officer pursuant to town law section 103 effective January 1st, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
So we have
So
lots of
excited.
regrets, but we also have lots of new and exciting changes. We are so excited to promote Martha Kipisaka to this new role. Martha has been working for the town for several years now, first in the tax office, now as deputy town clerk. She has learned so much in these two roles and seen so much of what goes on in the town, and she's already started learning about the next step. She's contributed so much to these offices during her years with the town as well as to the town in general. And she did this while following in her predecessor's footsteps, while completing her Master's of Public Administration from John Jay College. So we are so proud of Martha. We can't wait to see all that you will accomplish in this new role, and congratulations.
Thank you. I actually have to thank Victoria because Tanya, her mom, was actually the one, go speak to Victoria. Maybe you want to go to John Jay. And then I ended up going to John Jay to listen to Victoria. So she was a good influence. But thank you so much for everybody having trust and belief and this new position. And I just wanted to bring really quickly a nice circle around. When Councilmember Fellman was talking about donating toys to the community. My family, we were very low income, and we were one of those families that received those gifts during Christmas time. So that's one thing. But it also came full circle to me that, you know, coming from such a low income background family, and then, you know, having my parents, my mom and my dad support me and my siblings to study, and now to look ahead backwards that what 5-year-old Martha wanted one day and wished and seemed like it was so out of grasp, actually coming true and being put into this position is very, very full circle moment for me. And at the end of the day, I love the town. Tax receiver started with Holly and Patty. There were such great mentors, and then Sue. But additionally, I became town clerk during one of the darkest times of my life, and my mom passed away. And the fact that all the town employees and village employees as well were still opening and helpful during my family during the time, and to be able to serve that community that just brought so much joy to my family during a very hard time is very, very happy for me. So thank you so much.
So much, Christy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Happy aye. Aw, that's so sweet. Yes.
Resolution local law number 8 of 2022, increase real property tax exemption available to senior citizens, whereas real property tax law authorizes local municipalities to offer tax exemptions for qualifying senior citizens based upon their income level and to exempt certain expenses from the calculation of income. And whereas the state recently increased the income level at which exemptions can be provided, and whereas the county for which the town determines real property tax exemptions recently exempted from the calculation of income all medical and prescription drug expenses that were not reimbursed or paid by the insurance. And whereas, in order to provide the highest level of exemption available to senior citizens to allow them to retain in their home and age in place, and to maintain consistency with other taxing jurisdictions for which the town administers tax exemptions, the town board is considering adopting local law number 8 of 2022. And whereas the town board held duly noticed public hearings at its regular meetings on Tuesday, October 26, 2022, and Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022, in the first floor conference room of Town Hall, 16 Current Avenue, and members of the public having the opportunity to attend and be heard, the public hearing was closed on November 2nd, 2022. And whereas said local law has been at the desks of the members of the town board of the town of Austin for at least 7 days, exclusive of Sunday, prior to the adoption of this resolution. And now therefore be it resolved, the town board hereby determines this action is not subject to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, as it will not affect the environment. And be it further resolved, the town board, after due deliberation, finds that it is in the best interest of the town to adopt the local law. And the town board hereby adopts local law number 8 of 2022 entitled Amendments to Chapter 180 Taxation of the Town Code to increase the real property tax exemptions available to senior citizens. And be it further resolved, the town clerk is directed to enter said local law in the minutes of this meeting into the local law book of the town of Austin, to publish said minutes in a newspaper published in the town, if any, or in such newspaper published in the county in which such town may be located, having circulation in such town, and affidavits of said publication shall be filed with the town clerk, and to file a copy of said local law with the Secretary of State of New York.
Second.
I know.
Sorry, you have to write it all.
I have to write them now. Sorry about that. I have to write them now.
All those in favor?
I think this is a roll call.
Sorry. Plus, I forgot to just say how that we're excited to adopt this local law to expand the eligibility for senior citizens to qualify for this tax exemption, making it easier for them to afford to age in place here in our community. Okay. Roll call.
Councilmember Nikia.
Yeah.
Councilmember Feldman.
Aye.
Councilmember Fields Stewart. Supervisor Levenberg.
Aye.
Intermunicipal agreement with the Village of Austin for fire protection services, whereas as its October 25th, 1960 meeting, the town board of the town of Austin established the town of Austin Fire Protection District for areas within the town that are outside the unincorporated villages of Austin and Briarcliff Manor. And whereas the town does not have a fire department to provide fire protection services to the town fire protection district, and whereas it has been the longstanding practice in the town of Austin, the town for the villages of Austin and Briarcliff Manor fire departments to provide fire protection services to town fire protection districts, and whereas the town board had a duly noticed public hearing on fire protection services for the town fire protection district at its regular meeting on Tuesday, December 13, 2022, in the first floor conference room of Town Hall, 16 Corinth Avenue, and members of the public having the opportunity to attend and be heard, the public hearing was closed on December 13, 2022. And whereas the town board believes it is in the best interest of the health, safety, and welfare of the property owners, residents, and tenants of the town fire protection district for the Village of Austin Fire Department to continue to provide fire protection services to the town fire protection district, subject to the terms and conditions set forth in the proposed agreements. And now therefore be it resolved, the town board hereby authorizes the supervisor to enter into an intermunicipal agreement with the Village of Austin to provide fire protection services for the town fire protection district. And be it further resolved, the supervisor and all other applicable officers, staff, and consultants, and hereby authorized to take any and all actions reasonably necessary to facilitate the objectives of this resolution.
Second. Okay, fair enough. So, as we discussed earlier, this resolution approves the fire protection intermunicipal agreement with the Village of Austin. We are extremely grateful for our fantastic volunteer fire department in Austin and all the service that they provide to the town. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Abstain.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Councilman and former Chief Miniccio. Appreciate it and appreciate your service.
Thank you. Martha, we did these as two separate resolutions, but they're substantively the same up until the whereas clause. So if you want to cut down on your reading.
Sure.
Just start with the last whereas clause.
Whereas the town board, okay.
Yeah.
So resolution intermunicipal agreement with the Village of Briarcliff Manor for fire protection services, whereas the town board believes it in the best interest of the health, safety, and welfare of the property owners, residents, and tenants of the town fire protection district for the Village of Briarcliff Fire Department to continue to provide fire protection services to the town fire protection district, subject to the terms and conditions set forth in the proposed agreement. And now therefore be resolved, the town board hereby authorizes the supervisor to enter into the municipal agreement with the Village of Briarcliff Manor to provide fire protection services for the town fire protection district. And be it further resolved, the supervisor and all other applicable officers, staff, and consultants, and hereby authorized to take any and all actions reasonably necessary to facilitate the objectives of this resolution.
Motion?
So moved.
Second. So I would just say this is a little shout out to Peter Chatsky. We are proportionately grateful to Village of Briarcliff Fire Department for their service in our district. We're very, very grateful. Also to Briarcliff Manor Fire Department for their service to the unincorporated town, for making sure we're safe, protected, and that all of our residents know who to go to, who to call when they have a fire emergency or carbon monoxide or other related environmental emergencies, like I said before. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Because I think you're voting. Okay, great. Thank you. Fantastic. All right, so with that, moving right along.
Okay. Finance 2022 capital budget modification and closed project 2013 Old Albany Post Road dead end restoration. Resolved the 2013 Old Albany Post Road dead end restoration project 182 is adjusted for the final close of revenue from Federal Emergency Management Agency FEMA of $316,648.52 and unexpended funds of $3,095.56 to be transferred to the debt service fund and the capital project close. Now therefore be resolved, expedition revenue account budget adjusted as follows.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, and blah, 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 blah would be a very, very apt description of this project. I cannot say how excited, oh, first of all, motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I cannot say how excited I am. I should have motioned and seconded, just because that's how excited I am. To vote on this budget adjustment, which is related to a project that was completed as part of the town's response to Hurricane Irene back in 2011. That's right, 10 years. What?
11 years.
11 years. Goodness gracious. That long ago. Huge thanks to our comptroller Dale Brennan and to town village engineer Paul Fraioli for shepherding not just this project, but the complex FEMA public assistance program to try to get the reimbursement that we were promised and then basically only got some off. We are relieved that this is finally complete and put to bed and yeah. Done. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay,
Did we have a motion?
yes,
Yeah.
Okay, my apologies.
was the right.
Got it. Thank you, sorry. Okay. Adoption of 2023 budget. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby approves the 2023 budget for the town of Austin. Total appropriations for the 2023 entire town 100 fund are $6,204,285. Total appropriations for the unincorporated 200 area fund are $4,422,418. And total appropriations for the highway 310 fund are $3,075,218. Total appropriations for the water and sewer funds are $503,292. Total appropriations for the fire light refuse funds are $1,609,344. Total appropriations for the ambulance district are $1,064,701. Total appropriations for the cemetery fund are $415,449.
Motion.
Second.
So I can not say how thankful I am also to the incredible finance team of our comptroller Dale Brennan, deputy comptroller Liz Nakari, budget director Victoria Caparelli, and all of our department heads for putting forth a sound budget for 2023 with, yes, a tax rate, not total tax, but tax rate decreasing about 6%. Again, couldn't do it without our town team or team town, depending on which direction you want to think about it. We've continued to stay within the tax cap for the last 7 years. I'm quite sure that our town board will do their best to continue in that direction as long as is possible to provide the services that our town residents expect of us to be able to provide: fire services, police services, and all of the other wonderful things like the summer concert series that we're going to be talking about in just a second. So again, grateful for all the help and assistance and all of those who participate in putting this budget together, and also for the town board for being reasonable. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed?
Contract Summer Concert Series 2023. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin authorizes the supervisor to sign an agreement with My Risco Music School LLC, doing business as My Risco Music Austin, New York, 10562, for the administration of the summer concert series for 2023.
Motion.
Second.
So I think we're like a week away from the winter solstice, but nevertheless, we are thinking about summer, and almost as soon as we finish one concert series, we start getting solicitations from bands who want to come to the next one. We have had, again, a fantastic run. Okay. What? Okay, Chrissy, you're coming next year. Okay, that's all there's to it.
I need an assemblywoman to start. I've been waiting for all that.
We really had I mean, they just have been getting better and better. It was really an amazing summer. I think we can all attest to that. And we're grateful for the Riscos for curating or putting together a great list of bands, and also just being there pretty much every week, making sure everything ran smoothly from the band's perspective, as well as helping with all the social media, as all of our partners, the Riscos and Kill Brewery and the Chamber have all done. So, and Brian Chardon. So we're happy to once again put forth this contract, and can't wait for River Jam 2023. And again, thank you for carrying a great band lineup, and we know it's going to be even better in 2023. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Contract online auctions, resolved that the town board of the town of Austin authorizes the supervisor to sign an agreement with Auctions International Incorporated, East of Aurora, New York, 14052 for online auction of surplus government vehicles, machinery, equipment, and other surplus assets of the town of Austin.
Motion.
So moved.
We have had a good relationship with Auctions International. They've been successful at auctioning some of our surplus equipment in the past, and we hope to continue that relationship. All those in favor?
Aye.
Contract appraisal services, resolved that the town board of the town of Austin authorizes the supervisor to sign an agreement with Tyler Technologies Incorporated for appraisal services relating to the 2023 assessment roll at a fee not to exceed $25,000.
So moved.
Second.
This is our annual contract with Tyler Technologies to complete the update for the 2023 roll assessment roll. This is the important work that is associated with keeping our assessment roll at full market value, which we, again, I'm going to do a shout out to Fernando Gonzalez, our retired assessor who got the ball rolling, and also to our previous town supervisor, she got like, and then all those in favor? Aye.
Intermunicipal agreement, recycling act, resolved that the town board of the town of Austin authorizes the supervisor to sign an intermunicipal agreement with the city of New Rochelle, towns of Cortland, Greenbrook, Harrison, and Newcastle, and the villages of Ardsley, Bronxville, Dobbsbury, Elmsworth, Hastings and Hudson, Irvington, Mamaroneck, Austin, Pelham, Pleasantville, Terrytown, and Tuckahoe for the purposes of receiving New York State Department of Environmental Conservation grant funds for shared recycling.
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
We continue to partner with our neighboring municipalities with the help of Sustainable Westchester to utilize the Recycle Right app and receive grant funding from the DEC. We're very grateful to the village of Tarrytown and village administrator Rich Slingerland for making sure that this happens every year. We hope that the public finds this to be a useful tool for their weekly recycling schedule. We're so glad that the village picks it up too, because it makes it less confusing for everybody. Power on. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Contract Westchester County Senior Programs and Services, resolved that the town board of the town of Austin authorizes the supervisor to sign an agreement with Westchester County Senior Programs and Services for the purpose of receiving grant funds not to exceed $4,717 for the town senior nutrition program.
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
So we receive multiple grants throughout the year from Westchester County for our senior nutrition program. This is another one. When we sign these contracts, then we can access the funding. Any comments, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Contract grant disbursement agreement, resolved that the town board of the town of Austin authorizes the supervisor to sign a grant disbursement agreement with the Dormitory Authority of the state of New York for purposes of receiving $100,000 in state and municipal facilities grant funding for playground upgrades at Ryder Park.
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
We are very grateful to our outgoing state senator Elijah Wright Melnick for designating $100,000 for the town of Austin to use for a new playground at Ryder Park. Now that we have this agreement in place, we can work with the rec advisory board to select accessible playground pieces to fit community's diverse needs. Questions or discussion? It's exciting, and we're very grateful to Senator Elijah Wright Melnick for designating funds towards the town of Austin. He's always stepped up, he's always been there for us, and we are very sensitive about. Absolutely. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Calling for a public hearing in the matter of local law to amend chapter 180 taxation of the town code to increase the real property tax exemptions available to persons with disabilities. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austin hereby calls for a public hearing to be held on Tuesday, December 27, 2022 at 7:30 p.m. in the first floor boardroom at the Austin Municipal Building, 16 Clinton Avenue, Austin, New York, 10562, and via Zoom video conferencing, which information will be available at www.townofaustin.com. In the matter of a local law to amend chapter 180 taxation of the town code to increase the real property tax exemptions available to persons with disabilities.
Motion.
Second.
So it came to our attention that the town board will need to consider a similar local law to the one that was adopted earlier this evening to expand the eligibility for the disability exemption as well as for the senior exemption. This will start that process. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Agreement to provide policing services to the unincorporated area of the town of Austin, resolved the following review by council to the town supervisor is authorized to sign an agreement with the village of Austin, whereby the Austin Police Department will provide policing services to the unincorporated area of the town of Austin for a 4-year term commencing on January 1st, 2023 and expiring on December 31st, 2026.
Second.
We are excited to continue our relationship with the Village of Austin and the Austin Police Department for police services to the unincorporated town of Austin through 2026. We know these agreements have saved the town taxpayers millions of dollars over the course of the past several years while maintaining top-notch service. We thank Chief Sylvester and his full team for being the best in the business. And as we could hear tonight, they are on top of it. So any questions or discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? What? Monthly reports.
Monthly reports result of the town board of the town of Austin hereby accepts the following monthly reports for November 2022. Town clerk, tax receiver, town building department, and Dale Cemetery.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Visitor recognition on anything whatsoever. Councilman Meyer, are you there? Do you want to say anything? We'll recognize you. We do. Or no, he might raise a virtual hand. Oh, you have a second. To do. No, you're not really there. No, just joking. All right, town prosecutor. Anybody want to say anything? Okay, hearing nothing. May I have a motion to adjourn to executive session for advice of council, personnel, and contracts?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week for a work session on Tuesday, December 20th. And yes, we are going to also have a regular legislative session on special meeting on next week,
Oh.
yes. On December 27th. So while we usually do not meet that week, we will be meeting this year on December 27th. So we'll see y'all next week and then again the following. Have a great night, great week. See you around town. Don't forget shop local and give.